It began as a whisper, one of those quiet murmurs that start on the edges of royal conversation and then, without warning, take on a life of their own. Could Zara Tindall and her husband Mike Tindall, the grounded, relatable couple who embody both grace and grit, truly become the monarchy's next great assets? In an era where the royal family faces both a shrinking roster and an ever-demanding public, this idea has ignited debates across the United Kingdom and beyond. The possibility, whether real or imagined, has touched a nerve at the very heart of the modern British monarchy. Could the king's niece, the daughter of Princess Anne, step forward to fill the space once occupied by Prince Harry and Meghan Markle? Before we dive in, there's something I need to share with you. Over the past few days, thousands have watched these stories unfold, but most haven't subscribed. If you're one of them, I invite you now to join us. Subscribe to Crownverse so you never miss the next chapter in this unfolding royal history. The fascination surrounding Zara and Mike Tindall's potential rise within the royal framework speaks to something deeper than simple curiosity. It represents a growing yearning among royal supporters for stability, authenticity, and a sense of connection. The departure of the Duke and Duchess of Sussex in 2020 left a visible void, one that official engagements, however polished, have struggled to completely fill. When Harry and Meghan stepped away from royal duties, the palace lost not just two high-profile members, but also two individuals who had mastered the art of global engagement. They were young, dynamic, and, at least in the early years, symbols of renewal within the monarchy. Their exit triggered a reevaluation of the institution's public face. Who could carry that same spark without inviting the same controversy? In this vacuum, the public's gaze gradually shifted to Zara and Mike Tindall. The couple represents a unique blend of tradition and independence. They are royal by blood and association, yet distinctly modern in lifestyle and demeanor. Unlike many of their relatives, Zara and Mike have carved out lives unbound by the rigid constraints of royal protocol. She is a respected Olympic equestrian and businesswoman. He is a beloved former rugby champion turned broadcaster and philanthropist. Together, they have managed to capture something rare in today's royal landscape, a sense of grounded normality, free from pretense, yet deeply rooted in family values. The speculation surrounding their potential elevation as working royals has grown louder over the past year, largely fueled by social media discussions and commentary from royal watchers. Online forums and fan groups have become rallying points for those who see in the Tindalls a refreshing model of what the monarchy could look like in the next generation. More relatable, less institutional, but still anchored in the dignity of service. Supporters describe them as hardworking, unpretentious, and loyal to the crown, without the trappings of entitlement. It is this image, so different from the glamour and turbulence that once surrounded Harry and Meghan, that has led many to believe they could represent a new, stabilizing force. However, those close to the royal household know the reality is far more complex. King Charles III, much like his late mother, Queen Elizabeth II, remains committed to the concept of a slimmed-down monarchy. The strategy is deliberate, a focus on fewer working royals carrying out essential engagements to preserve both the institution's integrity and its financial sustainability. In this model, only the monarch, their direct heirs, and their spouses are expected to represent the crown in an official capacity. That means individuals like Zara and Mike, while beloved members of the family, are intentionally kept outside the working circle. This approach traces back to the early years of Elizabeth's reign, when she saw how the sheer size of the extended royal family could blur the lines between public service and privilege. Charles, who has long championed modernization and efficiency, has chosen to continue that trajectory. His vision for the monarchy is one of restraint, an institution seen as service-oriented rather than sprawling. It is precisely this philosophy that makes the Tindall proposal both fascinating and improbable. Zara herself has always been forthright about her position. She has no title and no desire for one. When Princess Anne chose not to bestow royal titles on her children, she was making a conscious decision to offer them the freedom to live as private citizens, unburdened by the expectations and restrictions that come with official status. Zara has often expressed gratitude for that decision, describing how it allowed her to pursue her equestrian career without the constant scrutiny faced by other royals. That independence has been both a gift and a shield, one that has defined her adult life. For Mike, the idea of stepping into royal duty is equally unlikely. Despite being married into the royal family, he has maintained his distinct identity as an athlete and television personality. His easygoing nature and public humor have made him one of the most relatable figures connected to the monarchy. But he has also been clear that he values the autonomy his non-working status provides. To accept a formal role would mean relinquishing much of that autonomy. It would invite the kind of media attention and restrictions the couple have so far avoided. Still, one cannot ignore the symbolism. The public's admiration for Zara and Mike speaks volumes about what people want the monarchy to represent. Their image, a couple devoted to family, loyal to their roots, yet firmly grounded in the modern world, resonates in an era where authenticity is prized above grandeur. For many Britons, the Tindalls feel like the monarchy's best link to real life. They are not seen in ivory towers or scripted photo ops, but at school runs, charity events, and local pubs. They attend royal functions, yes, but they also queue at airports and joke on podcasts. They bridge the gap between the ordinary and the extraordinary in a way few royals can. The monarchy's challenge, however, lies in perception versus practicality. To elevate Zara and Mike would require redefining the very principles King Charles has set out to protect. The idea of reintroducing non-titled family members as official representatives risks undoing the progress made towards a leaner and more focused institution. Moreover, it would raise difficult questions about fairness, privilege, and hierarchy. If Zara were to become a working royal, what of her cousins? What of Princesses Beatrice and Eugenie, who already straddled the blurred line between private citizens and occasional royal participants? This delicate balancing act is at the core of Charles's reign. He must project a monarchy that is inclusive enough to feel relatable, yet disciplined enough to maintain its mystique. The Tindalls, for all their charm, present both an opportunity and a challenge to that narrative. They embody what the public desires, a royal connection that feels authentic, but their inclusion would require bending the very rules designed to preserve the monarchy's longevity. And yet, timing is everything. The monarchy stands at a crossroads. With the king's health under close watch and Prince William gradually taking on greater responsibilities, the future of the institution depends on adaptability. The departure of Harry and Meghan exposed how fragile the royal ecosystem can be when faced with internal fracture and public skepticism. Charles's vision of a smaller working family has practical merit, but it also risks spreading the remaining members too thin. As Catherine continues to balance motherhood with her expanding royal role, and as Camilla supports the king through both personal and public challenges, there is a growing awareness that new faces may eventually be needed to share the load.